Barcelona Marathon 2025, just under 13 weeks away. And if I have many more weeks like this one, the sub 3:30 is gonna be tough. Quick note before this week's video starts. This video is for my second week of training. It happened weeks ago. This video is meant to go out weeks ago. Today's January the 10th. I'm just getting around to getting the video out now. I've been completely AWOL from life because one, I've been very ill, and two, a bit annoyingly, I got attacked by some random blokes. My ribs have been a bit fucked up. I'll explain more in next week's video, but I'm back to running today. Mission sub 3:30 has not gone to plan, but we'll get there. So I'm here at the end of my second week of training, just getting my long run done now. How long that long run will be, I will find out by the end of this video, but we're out here getting it done still. Currently back home visiting friends and family before the Christmas week, which meant my routine getting jangled about quite a lot, and I thought that might impact my training this week, and it definitely has. Whether it affects it today as well remains to be seen. But let me take you through what this week has looked like for me. I say it's not been the best, and it's probably not been optimal, but I've still been out there getting those runs done. Obviously last week was my first week of training, and that got interrupted with sickness at the very start. So I managed to salvage the week over the weekend, which was brilliant. And I knew coming home this week would probably get in the way of my training a little bit. I was accepting of that fact, to be honest. It was gonna be probably the only week during this entire training camp where I plan my runs around my life instead of my life around my runs. If you want to get good results in these races like I'm aiming for, I need to be consistent, I need to be in a routine, and I need to prioritize my runs. But this week, it's the week before Christmas. I'm not really doing anything during Christmas or New Year, so this was my big sort of week for Christmas plans and seeing people. And so I was accepting that this week might be a little less optimal. 15 minutes in. It's meant to be a 2-hour run today. I'll see how that goes at the end of this video. But started the week, obviously coming out from last week, having salvaged the week after being quite ill. Took Monday off, and it was down the track for the first track session of the training camp for a very hard, very hard speed session. I'm fucked. I'm definitely lacking in calories and hydration. You can't even see me, but fuck it. Just not eating enough still, even though I was feeling better. Doing a session like that, I need more fuel in me. Definitely haven't had enough water today either, so that was hard, but got it all done still. So jogging it out now just to finish. I want to get to 7 miles, start the week strong. That speed session was 5 by 5 minute hard efforts, going at about 10k pace, 7 minutes per mile. I would like to up that speed as we go on, but every session is going to get longer, so we'll see how I get on. Got a love-hate relationship with the track. Love it because it makes me feel like a pro, but I don't feel like I belong there. If I could run around the streets and do it, I would, but at night I'm very clumsy. I'll just fall over, I know I will. It's too windy to finish this part, throwing it back to me in the future. Fuck you now. So Tuesday was the first speed session of the training camp. Went to the track, and I was definitely feeling the remnants of all the lack of calories I'd had the week before. Those hard efforts felt very hard, but happily all of my times were pretty much bang on. Every 5 minute hard effort was around 7 minute mile pace, which is what I was aiming for. So even though I felt a bit rough, I got it done. It was a good session, but that was literally the only session of the week that I could do at home around my normal routine, because from Wednesday onwards my Christmas festivities, my Christmas plans started happening, and so because of that I had to get my next run done the following morning on Wednesday, about 8 or 9 hours or whatever it was after doing that hard speed session, and it wasn't pretty. needed to get this running before work today, which means 2 runs in a short space of time. I'm travelling back to see family for the weekend, so getting them done no matter what. Whether it's the best time or not remains to be seen. Somewhat concerningly, I'm running very slowly and my heart rate has flown up to over 150. My chest has felt very tight as well. If I'm just not eating enough food, because I haven't had any food yet today. I was very hungry yesterday. Oh, if anyone knows what causes higher heart rates and chest pains when you run, give me a shout. They suck a bit. Lovely waft of cow shit down here. So yeah, I think I was severely dehydrated and malnourished still from the week before. Hence why I found it so hard and my heart rate was flying. I'm usually quite good at controlling my heart rate, so that was a rough one. But I got it done. And because I did an extra mile on my speed session the night before, it meant that I was still on track to hit my target of 30 miles this week. And so then the business of life began and my running took a bit of a hit. And I didn't get running again until later in the week on Friday. It is nice to get out of the city every now and then for a run, can't lie. So I'm at the part of the week now where I'm building my runs around life as opposed to my life around runs. It'll be a one-off. It's probably the only time during my entire training block where this will be the case, but it's Christmas next week. I'm home visiting family and friends up until Christmas Eve, and I'm back to my house for Christmas. So Christmas week and New Year's week itself, actually very quiet, nothing on, so training is going to ramp up. But this weekend now, I've got quite a lot of plans. I get to see family and friends little and often, so making the most of it. I'm already dreading the long run at the end of the weekend. So today's just a quick shakeout. It's the first day I'm going to attempt to add some cross training or strength work. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm going to wing it. Maybe you can critique me if you're watching and have any better ideas. So that was Friday. Just the 2 miles planned, and then I did a little bit of mobility, strength work, whatever you want to call it. But to be honest, I did very little. I'm not 100% sure what I'm supposed to be doing with those parts of my training, so if anyone watching has any advice, please hit me up. I was just doing what I could with what I had, which was very little. But by the time Friday had hit, I'd banked 12 of my 30 miles for the week, which wasn't what I was hoping for by then. And then I had quite a busy and heavy weekend, which meant the rest of my training week hasn't looked the best. Today is one of those days where just being out and getting the run done is better than nothing. As I said, the back end of my week this week was going to turn into a bit more of fitting my runs in around life, visiting family and friends before Christmas, so lots of festivities, lots of beers, good food. Wouldn't change it for the world, but it has definitely meant that today the motivation to run was very low. And as I'm running right now, I'm going very slowly and I'm finding it quite hard. So I'm just grateful that I got out. I'm not going to pretend to be some sort of runner that knows what he's doing or does the right things all the time. This week I've probably not looked after myself as much as I need to. I kind of knew that would be the case. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Obviously, if it was a habit and every week was like this, then I'd start hindering my training a lot. But I love running, and I love that it's good for me, it's healthy, it's a positive thing that I do. But sometimes you just got to live your life a little too, and that's absolutely fine. So I'm out here getting it done, doing my best. Wrap up. Ooh, heart rate is flying, even though I'm going very slowly. Running after a night of drinking probably isn't the best idea. never take anything I do as advice or how to do things, because I ain't got a clue what I'm doing. I'm just out here moving my feet, moving and grooving, getting it done, and come March 16th I will be ready for that sub 3:30 marathon. Let's get this done. It's a struggle. So there we have it. That run was not pretty. I had to cut it way short. Being completely honest, it was just a very heavy weekend, and running probably wasn't the best idea. And now we're on to Monday, technically into the 3rd week of training, but I'm getting my long run done now. It's been a bit of a hectic week. Routine's been all over the place. I knew this would be the case for weeks going into training. This is my Christmas week essentially. So when I get back tomorrow to my flat, back to my routine, my running, my training, my diet, my sleep, everything like that is going to be optimal, if that's the word. Optimal to hit that sub 3:30. It's okay to have a bad week or two. I obviously didn't have the best first week either, though I did salvage that after being ill, but yeah, it's okay to have a couple. But if I made a habit of this, I know that sub 3:30 is well out of reach. So take the lessons I can from this week, use it as fuel and motivation going forwards for the next 5-6 weeks, put myself in a good window, absolutely smash my training, get that sub 3:30 and take you along on the journey with me. Let's get this long run done. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do the full 2 hours, but I'll give it my best shot. Oh baby. Not sure I'm going to be able to make it, to be honest. This is my last chance. Double espresso science in sport, 150 milligrams of caffeine. Never had one of these before. This is definitely my last chance to get this done today. I'm a bit worried about something coming out of me after this. Espressos are notoriously good at making me go to the toilet. You didn't need to know that. Fucking hell, that's weird. Well, fuck me. After that Crimea River at mile 8, thinking I was about to give up. I've only gone run more than half a marathon in 2 hours. Those double espresso gels are a life hack. Hello. Well, a bad week at the office. Probably still a few miles shy of my goal of 30 miles, but I ended on a high. That definitely didn't expect that, considering my fueling today has been dreadful. I had a banana before I left and that was it, and I had a large Domino's last night, which I would just say I would not recommend having if you're going for a long run the next day, but somehow I pulled that off. A good week next week, sub 3:30 Barcelona Marathon 2025 is still on. There's some work to do. Say bye. Bye bye.